Hello there.
Yo, bro, you good?
I'm very good. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks.
Um, I'm here with Tally. She's laughing at you already.
You wait, sir.
Oi.
The reason we're calling you is because we're recording
Yo,
the Capsule podcast, and
yo, dope.
I heard you traveling to Birmingham recently, being the countrywide famous DJ that you are.
You joker.
I don't know much, if anything, about the jam you were at. I just saw your clip and the fact that you were at it. But
Yeah.
what was the thing? What was it?
Yeah, so some ladies from Birmingham, Corinthia, Zell, and I think a girl called Gabby. Basically, they're putting on a jam. It's called Locality. Yeah, and it's just like a jam, basically how we have it in London. And then they brought me up to come and DJ. Oh, it was so dope. Like the vibe was so sick.
Oh,
Yeah, like there was a bunch of b-boys. You got like hip hop dancers, some house dancers, poppers,
sick.
and just like a lot of Nathan Marsh.
Yeah, runs the crump
So
sessions.
So like a lot of his like younger ones were there, I think,
Sick.
which was dope. Yeah, and they're doing it again, I think, on the 20th of Feb. So
dope.
anyone in Birmingham, go down and all of that.
Well, Manchester's not too far, right?
I don't know, bro.
Geography is like it's outside of London. That's all we know.
Yeah. Well, it was proper dope though. Like, yeah, hopefully I'll go down again.
But it wasn't a battle or anything. It was just like a jam session.
No, yeah, it was just a jam. Yeah, just a jam. Yeah.
Sick. That sounds like a nice idea, man. Dope. And it was what sort of venue was it? Was it like a dance studio or what?
Yeah, just a studio. I think they might do it in a different studio. I don't know. Maybe there's like a bigger one or just like a better studio they know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like studio was pretty dope though. Like it was spacious and like it looked pretty fresh. So
sick.
Can't complain.
Sounds good. And
we love Chaldon podding.
Yeah, we need to get Chaldon on the. I'm getting some new equipment.
Yeah, you joker.
Next time, once I've got my new equipment, we can have more people here, and then you got to come through.
Hey, vibes. That'll be dope.
And yeah, props on the DJ, man. You like proper on it these days, no?
Yeah, man, it's fun. Like I just started off as a hobby, and then it kind of grown. And then obviously, because I'm a dancer, like I love to play like hip hop beats and like old school beats and all of that stuff. So yeah, it kind of just made sense. And now obviously, I can just kind of provide vibes for my people.
Vibes.
So yeah, it's fun, man. And then even just like playing out and stuff.
Yeah.
Like in like parties and venues and stuff. I'm trying to do that a lot more.
Is it?
So yeah.
Like, are you? I mean, obviously, you spun the other night out in Peckham, but are you trying to do more like party vibes like that, or more? Do you want to do battles and stuff as well, or not really?
I kind of want to do everything, to be honest. I feel like I'm very versatile with my music selection. So
sick.
Yeah, like I think like I can definitely like provide vibes for like a party or like a jam, a battle.
Sick.
You know, like anything really. So.
What about UDO?
Wow, I don't know about.
Long days,
It is. You know what it is with UDO and all of that. It's like because you have to have like tracks without like swearing.
Yeah, that's a whole mission in itself.
Yeah, that is so much stress for me, bro.
Because it's like also you can get all the songs, but you just hear one like swear word and everybody's gonna hear it. Like
shut down.
The lights turn off, everyone leaves.
Yo, they're not bringing me back. Like I'm fired.
Oh, that's funny. All right, man. Well, yeah, I will catch you soon anyway. And shout out to Locality Jam, I guess it's called. And yeah, catch you at the next session. Are you doing another Tribeways? Anything like that coming up?
Yeah, hopefully soon. Okay. It's just that it clashes with a lot of like classes and like even the 16th floor jam on Fridays and stuff like that. So maybe I just need to find the right day in the week or maybe on a weekend. Yeah. Let's see if people are free and then just bang it, to be honest.
Sick. So you've got obviously your class at the hub when? Thursdays?
Thursdays 8:30 till 10. Yeah. Every Thursday. I do like freestyle and choreo.
Sick.
So like it's just a mashup of everything. And then 16th floor on Fridays, 7 p.m. till 8:30. We're doing class, and then there's a jam 8:30 till 10.
Sick.
Everyone's welcome. All styles.
Boom.
Mainly play hip hop though, but all styles. Yeah, so everyone come down. Vibes.
And then I guess if everybody follows Tribeways on Instagram, they can check out.
Yeah, for sure. Like we'll try and do another event or jam or whatever. I'm trying to do a battle as well soon.
Let's go.
Like as you know.
Jeez.
So yeah, hopefully soon.
Sick.
I mean, if we get Color Factory, yeah.
What's that?
Reply
in
to my
Hackney.
email. Yeah, we found a sick
joke.
venue
Okay.
that we were raving at. And we're like, we could do a battle here.
Yo,
and they just
what?
haven't replied. But it's okay.
Fair.
They will.
Sick.
Fingers crossed though.
Well, they'll definitely see this because they're with my millions of views. You know, they're probably one of them. So, you know,
Yeah, them ones. Yeah.
competing with Joe Rogan at this point. But yeah, all right, bro. Thanks for the info, and I'll catch you soon.
No worries, G. Yeah. Peace and love.
Love.
All right,
Take
in
it
a bit.
easy.
Bye.
See ya.
That was the good old Chaldon Williams. If you didn't know that already. Yeah. So welcome to the Capsule. I'm here with another friend of mine, 2 weeks running. Third ever guest. What number of interview were you? 3 or 4, right?
Yes, I believe.
So Kieran was the first one, and he was the second guest. You're the third Capsule guest. Although at this point, it's all kind of the same. And yes, we are here capsuling in my living room. So in terms of stuff that happened this week, I mean, there's not a lot of battles happening at the moment still, but I think stuff is coming. But yeah, at the moment we're not having like, I think at one point we were having like battles every weekend before COVID, but yeah, now not so much, but I think things are going to start to pick up. But B-boy Aleon from Ireland, he's from Primal Instinct's crew. He won a breaking battle in Porto, so that's cool. Primal Instincts, if you don't know, are kind of like a super crew, but I don't know if that's the politically correct way to say that, but like they're a bunch of people who were already dope and already kind of doing things in different places who came together to make like a fucking top-notch crew. If you don't, I do know about them.
Mm-mm.
It's like Spin, Big
I
Stephanie.
saw you announce
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Sick.
yeah.
Sick.
So like they're like everyone in that crew is like sick. So they've kind of got the fucking Power Rangers together and taken over the world. So shout out to them. In the news of events, In the House announced their Pengtingsweek, which is a hilarious name. Even more so if
Clara
you're
came up with that for sure.
yeah, and even more so if you're not from London, because
What does it mean?
what does it mean if you're not from London? But Pengtingsweek is basically well, the logos that they have is In the House, Firehouse, and the Kingdoms League, which we announced last week. But it's basically a week of different events. So there'll be battles and I guess other stuff. So far they haven't said what the events are. They've just announced that it's happening. They said it's happening in 3 weeks from now, or from when they posted. I don't think they've put out official dates yet, but oh yes, they have 17th to the 20th of February. So
That's soon.
that is soon, yeah. So there'll be a bunch of stuff happening, I guess, in those 17, 18, 19, 20, 4 days. At least one of them will be a battle, and one of them, the battle I think is part of the Kingdoms League, but I don't know what else they're doing. So follow In the House UK for updates on that. And yeah, clear those dates, I guess, to check out what's happening. That's quite a short one, to be honest, until we get more info. The other thing that was happening this week, I guess, is the good old Superbowl, which I hear is a whole kettle of fish. So I will say my intro into this subject, and you can take the ball and run with it. See, is that NFL metaphor?
Very good.
Or rugby. So basically, Dylan tweeted that the Super Bowl isn't paying dancers and is asking for dancers that they're not paying. Obviously, this is wild because the Super Bowl or the NFL is one of the richest organizations in potentially the world. And it was a bit of a uproar based on his tweet, but predating his tweet, there is a lady from the States who had gone on a Instagram tirade.
I knew you were going to say tirade.
Did you?
Yeah.
I was debating between rant or tirade.
It seemed a little strong, but I just knew that you were going to say it. Because tirade's got like emotion attached to it, doesn't it?
Is it not tirade-ish?
Perhaps. There's
It's
a
like-
shock factor to it.
Right.
Continue, sorry.
But Rant seems a bit more erratic. Like tirade seems like you know what
A
you're talking
measured
about, but you're
blast.
on your shit.
Mhm.
Anyway, so I'll let you explain more about that. But the tweet is no longer public from Dylan. Reason being is that I think more information has come out. So again, you can fill in any gaps of stuff that I'm missing, but from what I hear, they are paying dancers and they have their section of dancers that are being paid, and then they're also asking for volunteers that are joining the dancers, I guess. But I heard that there's some rules where they can't ask them to do certain choreography or whatever. I don't know if there's some in air quotes bullshit still happening with that, but I know the whole blanket thing of the NFL are asking everyone to dance for free is not true, because people are getting paid, but it's just there's also volunteers and it's all a whole.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Taja ever.
So do you want to tell us who she is first? Because I don't really know her.
Taja is a incredible, very well-renowned dancer who lived here for a period actually, but she's from the States. I won't say she's from LA because I don't know that to be true, but she definitely lives there. And she is also, just fun fact, the daughter of the great Teddy Riley.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Isn't it just?
I didn't know that.
And I knew that she danced for Janet when she was really young, but I found out through a podcast that she did recently that it was her first major job was a Janet Jackson tour, which is what most people aim to do at some point, maybe, hopefully.
Before they retire.
Yeah, she was 16 or 17.
Wowza.
She's incredible. I'd say Dancer is underselling her some, she's star stuff. But she has recently, this isn't the first topic that she's kind of blasted, but she has kind of taken it upon herself to be ultra mega activist for the industry.
Cool.
Mostly in the States, because that's where she's receiving info from, but she's definitely working with Dancers Network here and other networks like that in other countries. But yeah, she put out initially that they were asking for volunteers, and I don't know if she knew already, but I don't think she ever said that they're not paying anyone.
She just was addressing the fact that there were volunteers.
Yeah, and a event of that magnitude doesn't need that.
Which is fair, I guess.
And I think the extra thing on top of it in this case is that agents were putting this out to their talent.
Which is mildly offensive, at least.
So you are taking 20% of air?
Yeah.
And then a really good point's been made. It's you're not doing this for me. I mean, agents forget that we're their clients anyway. We're your client.
Yeah.
I get you have clients both ends, but we're the ones that make you money.
Yeah.
But I've lost my point. How did I even start
you said she made a good point about something, about the fact that
she made a good point in that agencies will put that work out, unpaid work, because it strengthens their connect with
the Super Bowl. But in any other circumstance, they'd say don't take work like that.
Don't come to me with unpaid work as an agent. And then jumping around a little bit, but Lyle Beniga put out a tweet paraphrasing, but that they do this every year with Super Bowl, put calls out for volunteers in the specific cities. It just so happens that in doing that in LA, that's where all the dancers are. So they're receiving the call.
I mean, I know the Olympics do it.
Yeah, and someone got in touch with Taja that's worked on mass entertainment, and there are ways to do it well.
Right.
And I did the opening ceremony here, and those volunteers had the best time. These are teachers.
Yeah. My mum did it. Well, not the opening ceremony, but my mum did. She volunteered to be a steward or something.
They had the best time. Because they get to be a part of history.
And also she applied. It wasn't offered. No one came to her and said, can you volunteer at the Olympics or an agent?
And you're not out of pocket. Like this for professionals is just a no across the board. But the fact that not only are you not being paid, but there's no transport provided. They're telling you to I saw someone's like, did you see, like they posted the not the call sheet, but just like the info sheet, and it's like, make sure you eat a good meal before you
and they said make sure like
the snacks that you can
put
fit
in your pocket. Like you can't order some like sandwiches.
There'll be meals or snacks at most rehearsals,
but not game day.
And hot lunch boxes or snacks at most. Which and when? I need, because one's a meal, one is not.
Yeah.
One day they're there and the next they're not. It's like,
and like there's no like no volunteers will have any power to complain on the day. Like, hey, I'm not getting fed. They'll be like, yeah, shut up. Like,
and like these are 10 till 6, 10 till 8, 2 till 10 days as well.
Yeah.
No tickets. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. And like get friends. Get your friends and family to record the game for you because you will not have tickets.
This is something that they obviously put together when they're doing the Super Bowl in like Arkansas. But to put it in the context of like professionals, it doesn't, because you read well.
That stuff maybe slides with people who've never seen that sort of thing in their life, but people who see that every day is like, this is way like we know what to expect.
Nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, because Olympics, I think we were paid to be there, but like we got a few tickets for people to come to the dress rehearsal of it.
Right.
There's no dress run of a NFL game, but there'll definitely be a dress of the
halftime show.
Yeah. Like you could invite people to come and watch that. Like,
and it'll be in the stadium, so there'll be seats.
Yeah, everything about it from asking it of professionals stinks.
Right, so the issue is not... Well, okay, so the original blanket point of they're asking professional dancers to dance for free is not necessarily true. However, aside from the people who are being hired, they are kind of still asking professional dancers to dance for free.
In agents putting it out to their talent.
And I think that's where the issue is.
Absolutely.
It's not just like you said, like school teachers or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like it's being sent out to... Is there... All right, to play devil's advocate, from your perspective as a professional dancer and as an agent, is there any merit to anyone doing something like that as a volunteer? Can it help your career in any way?
No.
You wouldn't... There's no dancer, even like a beginner or like something like that, you wouldn't advise anyone to take it for any reason?
A beginner that, like, it won't aid your road to being better or getting paid work or making it a career. But if you have a 9 to 5 and you just go to like Little J's class at Pineapple, for example,
and it's for an experience,
then by all means. But on the road to making it your livelihood, I wouldn't say so.
While we're on this, let me ask you this, because I think the immediate thing that a lot of people say / think is, oh, it will look good on my CV to say I performed at the Super Bowl, blah blah blah. I think me not being an agent, or I would say I'm a professional dancer, but not anywhere near as experienced as you. But like, for me, is like, they will immediately know your level based on the other jobs and based on seeing you in the audition that they eventually invite you to. So if you have the Super Bowl on your audition, Super Bowl performance on your CV, and then performed at a local theater, they're not gonna just... And then if they invite you to the audition, they're gonna see you and say, well, this person isn't a world-class commercial dancer or choreography dancer. Like, they're gonna know immediately that you weren't paid to do it.
And there's an argument to say that things like Super Bowl or like Beychella, for instance, the casts are so big that you're not all necessarily world-class, even if you are one of the paid ones. Right. That's not a blanket statement, and that's not me seeing that someone did it and thinking, but
it's not a guarantee. It's not like a golden sticker to say you're amazing.
No, right. Not if there's like 100+ of you, not necessarily.
And so, because I think this is maybe one of the misunderstood things from the middle to lower end of the industry in terms of level, I guess. But it's like, what things look good on your CV to an agent? Like, if you're reading a CV what would impress you? Because I think a lot of people are like, oh, I'll do this. And this is what always frustrates me, but I don't quite have the answer to tell people this. But it's like, they're like, oh, well, I want to do this show for free because it's at the Barbican and that will look good on my CV to have performed at the Barbican. And I'm like, will it? Is just having performed at a theatre, like I've performed some really amazing things in theatres that aren't that impressive. And I've performed some really like average things in huge, like I did GWI at the Hammersmith Apollo. And it's like, me having performed at the Hammersmith Apollo doesn't mean that I'm going to get any work based on that.
I feel like now that there's visual evidence that's really easy to find, even if you don't have a show reel of like top tier credits, what agents see when they land on your page counts more than
the CV.
I'd say so now.
In terms of, so all right, so you get a CV from a kind of beginner into the industry dancer, and it says performed at the Super Bowl, performed at the Barbican, performed at Hammersmith Apollo for these different shows. You're checking their, let's say they send a show reel, you'd maybe watch that, but then also checking socials and YouTube or whatever. And you're more looking for the level of dance or the being impressed by the level of work they've done, or both?
Both, but I'd say the former.
The dance.
But yeah, because the briefs are also different for jobs that you do in all this. I think that actually is the plus side of like a hearty CV. Like it shows versatility or reliability.
Right, because a lot of different people have employed you.
Yeah, across however many different forums, mediums.
Yeah, right.
So that does work in your favour, but your ability definitely counts.
Right.
Like credits alone don't really do it.
So it's better to leave those things maybe off your CV and not like reach to get all these fancy words on your CV, and just have a strong show reel and have a strong...
Right, just go for the gigs that you want and that pay properly.
Yeah.
In short.
Yeah, because I think this is like, even back when, didn't everyone do Cher Lloyd's video for free, and that was a whole...
Oh, I have no idea. Oh my God. How old
Sorry
are
if
we?
I'm opening a can of worms.
I used to dance for her.
Did you?
Swagger Jagger.
Did you get paid?
So did I. Yeah, but not. We didn't do the video. I remember hearing. Oh wait, like when she came back, or like back.
I just remember there was a video that she did, and everyone was like sharing it, like, "Why are these dancers doing this for free?" Blah blah. I saw the whatever thing was the audition notice or whatever, and this wasn't paid. Like, and there was. I just remember there being a thing about that. I could be way off. So, but what was my point?
Unpaid things. I said go for the gigs that you want and that pay well.
Yeah, so you wouldn't recommend like doing certain things for free to get things on your CV that look good? Because this is what is like a cliche that I hear all the time.
Yeah.
And I instinctually, having been around for a while, I'm like, I don't think that's the way it works, but also I don't know that it's not the way it works.
This was another thing that came up because Fatima, who was choreographing Superbowl, in her post, which wasn't a direct rebuttal, but I think like
it's like, let me calm
was the
this
first
down.
place that it was stated that 115 people were being paid.
Right.
Like she stated that she'd worked for free, and it was taken by some as that she was bragging about it, and I think she was just stating the fact.
I've hustled to...
Yeah, it's definitely not. I don't think it's anything to brag about, but I think in an Instagram caption, it's really hard to get tone. So I don't know what she was doing and why everyone's jumping down her throat. I also think it's a bit problematic. Taja may have an inside scoop and know that she's the one to go for, or that there's merit to like putting her name at the in the mix. But for anyone that doesn't, I think it's super problematic and anti-productive isn't a thing, but counterproductive to have her in the crosshairs. If you know,
because it could be the casting, it could be the like a whole different team.
She's on the side of the decisions, but like we just don't know. And to keep the fighting and the war of words on our side instead of just on the production side, because that's where it ends.
Technically, this Fatima is one of us in a way.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't go for her, go for the
like
person
she might not be doing all that she can do about it, but the buck doesn't stop with her,
and
like it never ever
didn't
does.
Start with her.
Yeah, it never.
She probably
does.
didn't go, "Hey NFL, I've got an idea."
Yeah, so maybe she could do more, or I know you want her to like suddenly not do the job anymore and super stand with us, but it doesn't. There's the problem is past her. That wasn't the point either. But on the working for free side of things, most professional dancers have done it, but that doesn't mean it's not a rite of passage to do.
And I would say from the, let's say, like photography or video side, I think, or just business side in that way, like I definitely work for free, but I've never done it because things look good on my CV. It's like, let's say there's a dancer I want to work with, or an experience I want to get, or like I need to learn what it's like to be on a music video shoot. Can I wriggle my way onto a music video shoot to like kind of see the vibes? And I find, again, tell me if you agree or disagree, I find the work that I want to do for free, I usually have to fight to do it. Like it's very rare that someone comes to me and says, "Hey, can you shoot behind the scenes pictures on this music video?" and it's actually worth doing for free. Whereas if I know there's a music video happening and I'm like hitting like 3 or 4 different, "Hey Tally, you're choreographing that, can you get me on set?" and I'll like I'll stay out of the way, I don't need lunch, like let me just take pictures, and you're like, "All right, I'll ask," and then they're like, "Well, we don't know," and then I get on. That's the type of music video I want to work for free on, because you know what I mean, because it's like, oh, we're not really comfortable with not paying you or whatever, but all right, like, if you really want this opportunity, rather than when people will send you things saying, "Can you do this job for free?" It's like most of the time for me, that's like a red flag of like, you're probably not going to get loads out of this if they want you to do it.
And the difference being with yourself, like the many people that are credited on music videos, we are the only ones on that side of the lens that isn't the artist.
Yeah.
And that is a huge difference. So me doing it for credit and work experience is still contributing to the millions of views that things get, which is still translating to monetization on YouTube or brand partnerships because your views are up on, like, that could happen with you if you take a 6 shot. I get it. But
most of the time that would lead to payment. Is like, if I happen to be on a set, there's a short side story, but like Drake's main music video producer, director, I forget his name now. Oh, fuck.
Isn't it X?
No, there's a guy that like he does some of it, but there's one guy that I forget the dude's name, but he does like consistently like a lot of his stuff when he doesn't reach out to other people. Right. He got the job because he was on set. I don't think as like, I think he was a photographer or something on set, and in between takes he took a picture of Drake just chilling at a table, and the music video director like went mad at him, was like, "You're not supposed to take it, it's not authorized." And Drake was like, "Yo, it's cool, just send me the picture, but it's fine, like leave him alone." He sent the picture to Drake loved it and used it as the album cover for Take Care.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and like obviously paid him for that, and then because he liked him so much, like, Theo
Scudra.
Yes, him, this guy, Theo Scudra, he told him like, let's like work together, come on my next tour, do this. Ended up like being his music video director. And it's like, that's kind of the benefits of working for free, is being in situations where you can capture stuff or work with people or access people that you might not be able to. But yeah, when it's just you're being treated like shit, you're providing more than you're getting, which is I think is the main thing. It's like what you're saying with dancers is like, me being on set as a photographer, they've already got photographers, they've got video, they've got all this happening, so I'm benefiting myself mostly. Right. Whereas if I'm a dancer on that side of the lens, I'm benefiting the production more than I'm getting out of this.
And there's a precedent that you set when you do unpaid, low paid work, that you are fine to do it, and thus you will be offered more.
The next one. Yeah.
Because you can't be mad if that's all that comes your way following that, because you've demonstrated that you don't mind doing it.
Yeah. I guess it's just that like panic that young dancers have, where they're like, well, everybody else is working, I'm not getting asked for any work, well, let me just be on a set or be in a show, and then maybe someone else will ask me for the next one.
It's rare that is a bit strong, but it doesn't happen too often where the scale is huge and it's unpaid. It tends to be like lower budget artists just starting out stuff, which is still problematic, but it's just a different kettle of fish. Like on Taja's post, I mentioned the Brits because they always invite British students to watch.
Right.
But sometimes in bigger numbers, they'll get Brits, and they do it at like halftime or opening ceremony type things here as well, or they'll get students to like bump up the core dance team.
Right.
And they don't pay them either. And like in my case, this is like Lifetime Achievement Award winning US artist. That was a huge artist.
Where?
For the Brits.
Yeah.
So this is like O2. And there's like the main breakdown of the medley that had Brit students in it, but they were with the artist, and then we were on like the catwalks. So they were like front and center at that moment. And these aren't 14-year-olds. These people are over 16. So they can work.
Right.
And it's just like, what on earth is going on?
So you mean they should be?
Absolutely.
Right.
So we went home with like $1,500 or whatever it was. And they were on the same stage as us, doing the same steps as us.
Oh, so they did the choreography?
Yeah.
Man.
And that's the point with the volunteers in the Superbowl, actually, is that it's the same with extras and supporting artists. Like, they get paid shrapnel in comparison to dancers.
Shrapnel's a great word,
isn't it? But they can't learn choreography. Like, you can be background and just like there having a drink at the bar or whatever the setup is, but the minute you're told to like on 8, you all put your hand. It's different.
Well, I guess that's the same with being an extra in terms of acting, right? Because it's like if you're an extra, you don't have lines.
Yes,
and as soon as you get asked to like have a line or I guess like anything like that, you're up the scale.
So I think with Olympics, it was a good point as well that these are all normal people, non-dancers. Yeah. And like we had 6 weeks rehearsal. So that's more than enough time for you to all eventually be able to pop your arm up on 8. But the shortcut that these guys get with like 9 rehearsals wouldn't be enough to choreograph 400 non-dancers.
Yeah.
They have to be dancers.
Oh, you're talking about for Super Bowl.
Yeah. Because if you're going to choreograph them and be like, I don't know, it's probably going to be light related.
Yeah.
Like you're not getting that out of non-dancers in 9 days. So it's in there. It benefits them to have dancers, but then you're going to have to pay for them. Methinks. I'm interested in how it will pan out. And because I've seen that LA Times have covered it now, but really? I also thought the suggestion, pardon me, of like going along with it the whole way, but then when the music starts, like don't move.
Oh, that would be insane. Whose idea was that?
Someone I don't know.
Well, that would be like the best protest ever. Like that would be amazing. That's like, to be honest, that's the only type of thing that's gonna
honestly
cause it, because the NFL have been plagued with controversy forever. Like they have players with the CTE, the brain damage thing.
Oh, shit.
There's like players that like have been like abused their partners and stuff, and just like all sorts of crap that the NFL's like been called out for, or they're just like, okay, cool, see ya. Anyway, the next game is on Sunday. Like
very Bojo.
They're just but they're just so rich and just like, we are just gonna keep raking in money no matter what happens. Like even with the Kaepernick stuff, they're just like, okay, cool. Like our budgets are fine. Yeah, cool. Like so it's like. I mean, I'm not saying this about, what's her name? Taja. Like, it's good for people to speak up and all that, but it's like, what? Like, the NFL aren't going to address this.
I don't think and if LA Times and Page 6 and stuff are picking it up, like,
sure, maybe
it's getting there. Yeah. It's everything that surrounds it that is detrimental, I think, because it's almost like we need a separate industry gram where everyone commenting and chipping in is actually a professional who this matters to and affects. Because all these like just popping up and like, what do you mean you're paying 115? What about the 400 you aren't paying? And it's just like Debbie from Delaware. Like,
yeah, because I think, was it someone else made a things saying about the comments, and I didn't see the comments. I didn't know.
I'm not sure.
Someone else, I can't remember, made a status about like
the comments.
Yeah, like the comments are wild or whatever. But I didn't know.
It's the nature of the internet. Like, there's nothing new happening here.
Yeah.
But while NFL were just sat unaware or unbothered, and we're all just here squabbling about it, it's like. And I have PTSD surrounding all this anyway, because it's literally 10 years since Rebby, Adrian Gass, Bonnie Parsons and I were doing all the stuff that we were doing with Equity. And like, it's really tiring to care to the point where you're active. We can all care here.
Yeah.
But like, actually being in those rooms unpaid, ironically, just giving up your hours to try and activate change it takes a lot. And it's like you're either doing it or you're not. And I would say that I'm not front facing. It's just too much. But I think it is possible for us all. It's not unlike the COVID scenario. It's just to take care of your surroundings and change what you can.
Because it's like, this is just a generalization, but you maybe have a lot of dancers that will like leave comments about this Super Bowl thing and be like, yeah, fuck that, blah, 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 or share a post or whatever, and then take on unpaid work tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And it's like, you're better off not saying all the crap and just shutting up, but just like you don't do the work that, and you talk to your agent if they send you stuff and say, hey, could you not send that anymore? Like, the more people do that, the more we're going to make real change.
It's just harder to quantify like the change that's being made if anyone can say, I hear you and I stand with you and I agree. But if you're living a different, like, everyone that says those things doesn't necessarily follow up.
How many of them are actually professional dancers?
Yeah. So it's just a whole bunch of noise.
Yeah.
I think the right noise is being made, but it's not necessarily surrounded by not positivity, because that's not what's needed, but positive action necessarily.
Right. And it's like, you can have all these people say stuff or share the thing or whatever, but it's like, like when it comes time for real change to be made, it's like, it's going to be 5%.
Just deal with what's in front of you. Like you say, you can totes keep your mouth shut but turn down that unpaid job, or even say to your agent, like, I'm well aware that it should be paid this, so respectfully no. Or
like young dancers that you're mentoring or something, or people that are around you that don't know, be like, hey, just so you know, you shouldn't really be taking
like I
for
had
this.
A dancer that I represented hit me up last night. It was super out of the blue, but it hit because of what's going on at the moment. She's like, just wanted to thank you for how much you fought for us on the Jamie film, because I start on a job tomorrow and the deal that I got was because I knew my worth as a result of that, and like I fought for better terms. It's like,
yeah, that's dope.
That's just one person, I get it, but still that's like the ripple effect out of me caring about my job and how I handle myself has had real effect in someone's career. And I think that's what we should be aiming for, as fun as the gram is. And I have ranted for 45 minutes about a music video experience.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
But I also sat in a room with the production company's executive director after that fact. So there's balance here.
I think there's a massive need for do at least as much as you talk. If not, do more than you talk. I would advise, but that's just life.
Isn't
advice.
It just? I didn't even really intend to get into the Super Bowl too tough.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't holler at Luke saying, I really just want to vent about the Super Bowl.
She did.
I did not.
She was like, I want to vent about Dylan. And I said, you can't say all that stuff about Dylan. We have to be nice about him. He's a lovely guy. She said, oh, fine.
This was a ruse. A ruse.
No, we love Dylan. And he's actually going to come through another week, but he could not be with us this week.
We love him.
We love you, Dylan. And so on that note, on that lovely segue, let's talk about why you are here. Because it's not because you're my friend. It's not because we love each other. It's because of something completely different.
A giveaway.
Woo! Okay.
Confetti.
So if you can sum this up for a nice Instagram clip, that'd be great.
All right. So I have a professional development program called Identity Ideas Industry, which is becoming known as III, which is easier for everyone involved. And it is a movement-based intensive surrounding who we are as individual movers and makers, how we make things, and then the industry as a business, and just how best to manage ourselves in that realm. I've got so much better at reducing what it is, I feel. I look to you for reassurance.
Yeah, like years of summing it up. Yeah.
And what I have noticed over the years is the difference it makes in a space when there are dancers of all styles there. 2017.
Yeah.
Luke came through, Jen was there, Monster Pop,
Lee.
Am I missing anyone?
Pax,
yeah. I've also had like Kana, Mason. It changes the space, and I think it's great for the room and the dancers that don't have those styles under their belt. It adds another element to the dancers that do. I don't think necessarily a physical element. I think it might be more a creative, mental element. I'm speaking for you, Ish, because you were a person and 100% there.
True. Yeah.
But I would like to offer free space, to dancers of that kind to join III this coming edition, which is the 14th to the 18th of February, 10 till 6 each day. I'm only interested in hip hop, house, popping, locking, whacking, crump, light feet, breaking.
So battle styles. Whacking.
I said whacking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so battle styles. But I don't need you to have entered a battle to qualify. It's just if you specialise.
If you identify
as a dancer of those styles, I would love to have one of you in the space with us. I'd love to have loads of you in the space, but I myself am offering one spot.
I mean, you can still sign up and
totes can
pay your fee and go like
Please
normal.
do. It's worth 225 quid for you.
I've done it three times.
I think 3 times.
3 times and worked 2 or 3 times. 2.
There haven't been that many. I think you did one and worked the rest.
Did I?
I think so.
Huh.
But yeah, there's a place at that. Then I'm also running some monthly sessions called Sessions. Said sessions, makes no sense. Sessions called Sweet Spot Sundays. And they are simply sessions. Like, I don't teach, but I think the music's a little different from what you might hear in the dancers that it attracts, and maybe a little different because we say, like, Chaldon demonstrated it perfectly there. It's like all styles welcome, but mostly hip hop.
Yeah.
And that occurs. That happens. But it's lovely to have battle styles in the space. And so I'm offering 1 5-session pass for that. And also 3 for 3 different people, single session passes. But you are also welcome, obviously, to come to those as well.
So for Sweet Spot Sundays, 4 people can win.
Yes.
1 person can win a thing for all 5.
There's 11 in total.
Oh, sorry, for 5 sessions. So 1 person will win 5 sessions and 3 people will win 1 session each.
So there's 5 things to win in total.
The whole week of III, which is the grand prize.
What a swag bag.
That is. Can I win? Can I just delete this video?
You're going to be there anyway.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I am going to be there for all of it. Sick. That's really cool. Yeah, so from the III perspective, if you don't know much about it, obviously check the Instagram. But also, we did a 4 podcast run on this a while back, middle of last year, something. So the intro episode specifically, I mean, the other 3 are fantastic and there's amazing guests and stuff. But the intro episode, we talk a bit more in depth about what the program is. I recommend this thing to everyone I speak to. I think it's super dope. And I think what I love about it is twofold. I think I knew you'd like that. I think the first thing is that you kind of can take what you want from it in a way. Like if you're just there to like vibe and just dance and not really think about anything and just like I just want to chill, you can do that. But if you're there to like intensely develop yourself, you can also do that. It's like kind of up to you how you take the tasks on and stuff. And after saying twofold, I forgot what the second one was. But I'll just say a different point. But like, is the other thing I like is that it's one of the only. Well, I mean, what I was gonna say, which is not as strong as what I'm about to say. What I was gonna say is that. Oh no.
You've lost it.
I've lost it.
You were going to ask me something about. Oh my God! I've been waiting for a song.
There you go.
You were going to say something about the sessions, I think.
Well, no, I was going to say about tali first. Is that what I love is that you often go to certain workshops, and especially ones which I think attract the audience that you attract, that make you feel like you have to dance how that type of dancer dances. And this is something that really struck me at the beginning. Like the first one I went to is like, it wasn't like, oh, just try and dance like this or try and move like how we move. It's like you pop and you if it's like travel across the room, how would a popper travel across the room? Or like how would a breaker travel? Like do what you do, but I'm going to help you to be better at what you do at the same time as like giving an exercise that is going to make you better at what you do while being a popper, but is also going to help this contemporary dancer improve at what they do. And it's like, to be honest, like, a lot of tali stuff is like shaped. I think there was always seeds of that type of mentality in the way I taught, but it really like shaped of like, yeah, that's a confirmation of like, this is where I want to go with how I teach. And that, like being on the receiving end of it was like, yeah, I want to do that for students, you know? And I like the idea of, there's wider things to dance than just your specific style.
Yeah, I think because you don't apply to take part.
Yeah.
And because it is for all styles and levels actually.
Yeah.
For me to then like teach super specifically wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So it has to be, and in that like having dancers of different styles in the room makes me work harder and get better as a teacher, because what exercise can I do that is going to be as helpful to this rumbesh student as it is to this breaker. Yeah. Haven't had breaker in the space, to be fair, but I'd be down.
I think it'd be good. Yeah. And the sessions are kind of more like an open, nice vibe of just freestyle.
Yeah, like all I do is control the aux cable and just hold the space. I've been to sessions that I'm not leading, even though I'm not actually teaching, but I do feel that there's a certain energy that comes from being in a room that I'm holding space in.
Yeah.
If I may say so. But that has been heavily curated so far in terms of who's been there, and I am really interested in what happens when it's not as controlled.
Well,
like
I think
if
also
that sustains.
Yeah, and I think like you and your brand and your kind of the audience that you attract will do a bit of curation anyway. Like you'll get maybe like battlers or people like that, especially if people see this, but like you'll maybe get the ones that connect with what you're saying in general anyway. You know what I mean?
I don't plan to say anything in the sessions though.
It's just open free sessions.
Yeah, like having conversations with people, but I'm not like, guys,
we're gonna do this now.
Duet time.
Everybody close your eyes, take off your shoes.
Yeah, no. Just session. And there are loads not loads, but there are a fair few at the moment, which I think is sick. I just want to kind of add to the variety that's being offered.
I think that's dope. Cool. So yeah, basically, this is something that we have not discussed off the mic, which is my fault, in terms of how people are applying for this. Did we come to a solution?
Yes, I think we can be really open about what we are not going to do. I'm not going to ask you to follow us both, like, comment, share on your story, tag a post,
But you should be following the capsule.
And me. Personally and my intensive. And you should comment on my III post.
We're not going to ask you, but that it would help.
You are going to email to apply. Let's up the engagement as well. No, I'm joking. You don't need to do any of that. What I would love you to do is, and I guess we can pop like a micro version of this in the caption, or at least my email address. So
we'll put it. I'll put it in the description. The time codes.
Email me at tali.iii@yahoo.com. I would love to know your name. I would love to know how old you are. I would love to know what you would hope to gain from, also what you're applying for. Because if I say you win the week and you're like, I was really just trying to come to a session, that would suck. So let me know which of the prizes you would like to be considered for. If it's all of them, that is absolutely fine. It's good to know. And then what you would hope to gain from being in the space, what it is about your style that you think would be beneficial to have in the room for dancers of other styles. I hope that makes sense, and maybe I can word it a little better, but that's like the level of analysis that I'm looking for from people. Just curiosity about themselves, and not knowledge about yourselves and your style, but just playing around with how to articulate. And that might be something that you've never even considered before. So a thought on that. And then just a link to you moving your body. And that's it.
Cool. Lovely stuff. I strongly recommend applying. It would be funny if I let you come on here and give the offer and I didn't recommend doing it. Because
when's this go out?
This will go out tomorrow.
Deadline is Sunday.
Ooh. So
at 5 p.m.
That is definitely an arbitrary time that you've just made up then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Friday seems too soon, but I'm not trying to take it into next week.
Okay, cool. So you've got until Sunday
at 5
p.m. Sunday the 30th of January at 5 p.m.
I think that's fair.
I think that's very fair. Cool. I don't know if there's much more to say on that.
We've gone on way longer than I thought we were going to.
Way longer
I'm
than...
so sorry.
That's all right.
And you're not... I think you may struggle to get a snappy Instagram clip out of it.
We'll have to see if I work my editing magic.
Yeah, that seemed insulting to your skills. I'm sorry, I take it back.
No, I think you meant I was going to cut one.
Do it in one, yeah.
That's all right. I'll maybe have a little play. That's what she said. So we'll end on that. Thanks for coming through, mate. We're definitely gonna have to do more of this.
Anytime.
I am shortly upgrading this setup, not drastically.
Yeah, what's it gonna be?
Just more mics.
Just a little capsule logo.
Yeah. No, just more. Like the camera stuff is gonna be the same, but I'm hoping. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I'm hoping to get a setup that allows me to have more mics, so we could have 4 of us.
Lovely.
Chilling. And it means that I don't have to hire a studio every time I want to do a group interview.
Great.
So fingers crossed that's happening soon. Besides that, obviously check out the Capsule Instagram, check out Tally's Instagram, check out Identity Ideas Industry Instagram. I am going to be at Groovanometry in March. I'm going to be at some other places, which now that I say it out loud, I realize I can't say yet. But there's going to be some... I'm going to be doing more live panel talks and live podcasts, and also podcasts in collaboration with events this year. So if you run an event, or you know somebody that runs an event, or you just feel like acting on my behalf and want to write them an email, let me know, or let them know that that's a possibility, because I want to, especially with, like, if this is the Capsule, the Duke London podcast is where I do the interviews. I want to take that more around different places and interview different people and have like live talks and stuff. So even places that have panel talks, I've like inserted myself into their panel talk and said I'll host it. So much more things coming up this year. So thank you everyone who has been behind me thus far. Also, something that I always think, and I never find the moment to say out loud, is like, and I don't know how you feel about this actually, Tels, but like, I don't care about this whole idea of like people jumping on the bandwagon when something gets big. Like, that's what I want for people to do. So if you listening to this, maybe you don't care about the caption, you just happen to be hearing about this and you're not sold about it yet, and you're like, maybe I'll follow later. And it's like, I'm never gonna like berate people for like, in air quotes, sleeping on me. Right. You'll engage with this at the right time for you, when you feel like it's useful to your life, and when you feel like the product or the offering has developed and has reached the point where you want to be engaged with it. Like, I've never bought into that thing of like, oh, you have to care about me from the beginning or fuck you. It's like, it's just dumb. So anyway, all that to say, you're probably not listening to this if you're one of those people.
I was thinking, I'm not sure they'd have made
No, but it's just, I just want to have it like said and put out there that it's like, I'm not ever one of those people. So whatever the numbers are, reflect how well this is being received. And if it's not being received as well as I would like it, or to the extent I would like it.
How well it's being received might not be all the way right. How many people are seeing it is the fact.
Right. But yeah. So that could either be that my marketing or my whatever needs to engage, but also it's like maybe people are seeing it and be like, I don't want to watch that, or I don't want to follow that Instagram or whatever. But either way, that's my work to do. That's not the audience's job to know that I'm gonna, like, I believe in myself that this is going to be something or way bigger than it already is, but you, whoever you are listening, doesn't have to believe that. It's like, when you see it, join in the fun. There's room on this bandwagon for everyone, and there will be until the end of time. But yeah, it's just like, I really don't like when people do that. Like, they get big and they're like, oh, now everyone wants to rock with me. It's like, well, yeah, because now you're good. Like, you know those bands that are like shit, and then they get good, and then you're like, oh, now I'll listen to them. It's like, yeah, because you weren't good before, so that's why. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say, because it's on my mind, and I always think I should say that on a recorded podcast at some point, because then when I'm a big deal, I can look back and say, I told y'all you were welcome. That's it, really, and we will catch you next week. And yeah, any last words for the people out there, for the fans?
No.
For the fans of Tally?
No.
Thank you.